Hi, I'm Patricia from Trisha's Lovely Creations, and today we're going to create some really neat pendants using alcohol markers. I'm using shuttle art markers. Um, you can use any alcohol-based marker that you have, and this is done on white clay. This one was also done on white clay, and this one was done with pearl clay. So I really like how the pearl came out the best, but we'll do one of each and we'll get started on that right now. Okay, today what I'm going to be using is the white pearl, and then here I've got a mixture of about 50-50 white and pearl together. Now I'm going to try that and see how that comes out this time. Okay, I'm back here and I've got my pearl, my white pearl mix, and my white all rolled out on a setting 0 on my atlas. So now we will grab some texture sheets, whatever you've got. I got some that I've made out of cardstock, and they're all floral. This one's not a very good impression, but it worked enough that I could still see it so that I could color it. This one's pretty good. It's a little thin, but it works. And then this one is the one I did for a pendant that I colored with mica powder. I'm going to use this one today also. So let's get started on that. I think I'll start with the pearl clay. Okay, what I'm going to do is smooth this out on my tile. Trying to make sure I have no air bubbles under it. Feels pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to get my cornstarch and my brush, and I'm going to brush the clay with some cornstarch. I'll be right back. Okay, I got my little cup with some cornstarch in it, and I got a little fan brush here. And I'm just going to brush that on. So I keep my texture sheet from sticking to the clay. Okay. Need to find my roller here. Now I'm going to choose where I want to do this at. I really like that one up there. I really like that one too, so I think I'm going to use this one. So place that on there. I'm going to start up here. I'm going to come down toward me. I'm going to stand up a bit here. See what kind of impression I got. Looks good. Felt like it moved, but it didn't move too bad, so that's okay. Now I'm going to get my cutters and see which one I want to use. Let's see here. Just trying to find where I want to do it here. Like that. Just trying to double check here. My head gets in the way, I apologize. I think I like that. There we go. How about my brush? Brush off the excess powder here. Not powder, but cornstarch. Okay. Dust that off a little bit more. And I'll dust this off a little bit more. Okay. Set that to the side. Set my texture sheet to the side. And my cutter. What do I do with my cutter? There it is. Okay. Now here I've got the white. Put it about in the middle here. Looks good. I think that's where I want it. And this is the mix. Brush that off. Okay. Now we just put these in the oven. And I'm gonna bake them for about 35 minutes. Because we gotta put backs and sides and all that good stuff on. So, let me zoom out here and see what I got. Got all three of them. So that's the pearl, the white, and the mix of pearl and white, which is about 50-50. So I'm gonna put these in the oven, and when I get back, we will color them. Okay, I'm back and they've cooled down, and now I'm going to start coloring them with my markers. Let's see where I want to start here. I'm going to start in the middle here. Let's start with these. And I'll speed this up so it's not so boring, because I know you're not going to want to sit here and watch me color this whole thing. Okay, I'm back and they're out of the oven and have cooled down, and cleaned up the edges of these two. Even though they're metal cutters, you still need to clean up the edges a little bit, and I'll show you how I did that with this one. This one was with the plastic 3D cutter, and this one's got a lot of edge on it, as you can see. And I just take my nail and kind of scrape on the side there to get it off. If you don't have much nail, you can take like the back of a craft knife, if you have a craft knife, and just kind of scrape down the edges that way with the back of a craft knife. But I've got plenty of nails, so I just use my fingernail. So just cleaning up that edge real good. And then we're going to back it. Pop them back in the oven for another half hour. And then we'll do the edges. We'll do the Jessama Smear on the edges. There we go. It don't take much to clean up the edges. No big deal. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and start with my pearl. So let me get that out, and ran through on the biggest setting of my pasta machine, which is a setting 0. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I ran that through on my thickest setting of my pasta machine. So now what I'm going to do is I have placed it on a piece of cardstock, or you can use just plain printer paper. I just happen to have more cardstock right now than I do printer paper, so that's why I'm using the cardstock. And I will get out my cutter. And I'm just going to lightly dust the edge of my cutter with my cornstarch and a brush. And we're cutting it on the paper so it shouldn't stick. Okay. So I want to get this ready by adding some, I'm using poly paste. You can use liquid clay or Sculpey Bacon Bond, whatever you've got. And you don't want it too runny or wet, because then it's just going to slide everywhere. You don't want to do that. So I try to spread it on there as far as it will go. And if you're using the poly paste, it really doesn't take much of that either. A little bit can spread a long way. So there, that's done. Now I will cut out my piece. There we go. And then we'll just get that on there right. Then I'm going to take my little sponge here and I'm going to give it a little bit of texture. And I just like to do it till I'm satisfied with it. This one is pretty coarse, not really what I wanted. It's a filter for fish tank, and it just, I thought it was what I wanted, and it's just really coarse, so not really what I wanted. That's okay, it'll work. Okay, I think that looks good. Now I'm going to take and flip it over this way, and I'm going to go back with my cutter and cut off the excess. Peel that off, like so. And I'm going to push it back through. Just making sure that everything's tight against it where I want it. And that's all there is to it. I don't know if you can see the texture, maybe if I hold it like that. So I'm just going to do the rest of these, and then like I said, I'm going to pop them back in the oven for a half hour, and then we'll do the edges. So I'll be right back. Okay, they're all done and textured, and now they are ready to go back into the oven for a half hour. And I'm going to cover them with another piece of cardstock to keep them from scorching or anything. And I'll be back when they're done. Okay, I'm back and they are out of the oven. The backs are nice and done. So now we'll do the edges. And like I said, we'll do the Jessama Smear on them. And I will try to have that in the links below for her YouTube. I do it a different way, a way that works for me, and I recommend starting out with the pearls because it just seems to be easier. I also recommend using some little finger coats. It just seems to help it go on better for me. So give it a try and see what you think. I'll warm this up real quick. Okay, I'm going to start at the top and work my way down and around. Just pushing and pulling. Do that again. Let me zoom in for you. That way, hopefully you can see what I'm doing better. Put that where I left off. Push it, pull in. Oops, didn't want that there. Just kind of smoothing that over where I left off there. Got kind of a ridge. And just keep playing with it. It'll get there, I promise. Better. Okay. Oh, got something in there. Sorry if you can hear the train. I apologize. That's where I always mess up, is joining the two. I don't know why, but I never can seem to get it just right. So you gotta kind of play with it till you get it down. I'm still working on getting it down. Smooth that out. There we go. Something in there. I'll show you how to take care of that. Find my alcohol. And I'm going to grab a Q-tip, my other glasses so I can see better. Dip it in there. I don't know if you can see that little dot right there. Didn't get enough alcohol on there. There we go. Smooth all that back out. Now I'll work on this tip. He's kind of pushing it down for now. I'm going to smooth it out. Over the edge a little bit. Going around making sure I got it all. I think that looks good. So I'm just going to do this same thing to the other ones. Pop them in the oven and bake them for an hour. And that'll be it. That'll be done with the bacon. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and they're out of the oven, and now I'm ready to resin them. I'm going to use UV resin today. So let's get started on that. Okay, now I'm going to spread it out to the edges. I'll get that big bubble out with the lighter. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take my lighter and pop the bubbles. Some of them didn't come up. I'm going to try and lift them to the surface there. That one's not a bubble. That one is. There we go. I think I got them all. Just want to make sure that one's not a bubble. No, that's not a bubble. Okay. Just double checking. I see another one. See another one. Nope, it's not one. Okay. Let's go over it one more time here. Trying to make sure I got them all. I think that's it. Now I'm going to put it under the UV light and I'll be right back. Okay, it's done and out of the UV light, and now I'm going to drill my holes in it for the cord. So I'm going to start on one side and then I'm going to work on the other side and just go like that until I meet in the middle, hopefully. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it don't. Let me pull back just a little bit. I think that's where I want to be. match it up here. That's about where I want to be. Hey, zoom that up. All right, good deal. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna get my cord and my findings and we'll string it up. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and today I'm going to use AccuFlex, and I'm using 49 strand softest drape, and I'm going to cut about 17.5 inches because I'm going to make this about an 18-inch necklace. I just got to move this a little bit so I can see my measurements on my table. There we go. Put on my second set of eyes here. Sorry I don't have this to where you can see what I'm doing, but I'm measuring about 17.5 inches. I'm going to cut that there. Oops. There we go. Cord through there. See how it hangs, and I really like that. Beautiful. Okay. I'll take my Charlottes and put them on. There's some crimp beads here. I guess I could zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Put my little crimp end on there. Okay. Take it and squish it on there. And I like to give it a tug to make sure it's good and secure, and it is. I close it up, take the pliers, pinch it closed tighter, pinch it at the top there. It looks good. Now I'll do the same with the other end. Put on my Charlotte, put on my crimp bead. Grab it. Oops, can't hardly see what I'm doing there. Sorry about that. Turn it. Close that. I got a little bit sticking out there. That's okay. Put that off. Pull on it, make sure it's getting secure, and it is. So I'll close it. And get my fingers around there, right? Squish it a little more with the pliers. sure the openings are together. And voila, that's it. I'll put on the jump rings. Let's see, I'll go this way with it. Trying to decide on whether or not I'm going to put on a extension chain. And I think I'm going to. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I just got me a small 2-inch extension chain. Take that. And I'm going to open that up. I'm going to add my extension chain onto that. And then I'm going to add that to my Charlotte there. And close her up. Just trying to make sure I got a piece in there. I can do it better with these. There we go. Looks better. Good to go. Okay. I'll take my small jump ring here. 4mm, I do believe. Put that on. Oops. Sorry about that. Didn't realize that's that far out of frame. There we go. And that's on. There we go. Let me zoom out here. And there we have it. And that's all there is to it. So if you like this tutorial, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I also have a Facebook group, Trisha's Lovely Creations. I hope to see you there. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.